Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to episode 8 of Webinar Wednesdays of the Department of Labor and Employment, hosted by the Bureau of Working Conditions. I am Aljo Cruz, Labor and Employment Officer 3 from the Bureau of Working Conditions. I will be your moderator for this afternoon's webinar on safety and health in the workplace. Before we begin, let us start with a prayer to be led by Ms. Diana Cardenas.
Let us put ourselves in the holy presence of God. Father in heaven, always merciful and giver of life, we humbly ask that you bless each one of us, from the speakers, program committees, and participants. Lord, today, as we start our webinar, may we always be grateful to learn new things. May our we retain the invaluable knowledge and learning experiences that we derive from this webinar. Shed the light of your wisdom and bless each one, especially our speakers, as they will share their knowledge to our participants. We pray that you bless all the committees in charge, that they fulfill their tasks responsibly, that the objectives they may set may all be achieved. May we ask for your blessing and divine providence that the webinar set for his undertaking be successful and effective. Thank you for the infinite blessings and countless opportunities. Through your mercy and grace, may peace and utmost understanding shine and dwell unto us. Your generous blessings would mean the success of this webinar. We know that without it, we can do nothing. May we be the living witnesses of your genuine love through the implementation of the knowledge applied through this webinar. This we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Let us put ourselves in the holy.
Okay, good afternoon once again and hello sa ating Facebook Live participants. Heart react naman po tayo dyan, mga sir and ma'am. All right. We encourage all our participants to please share this live stream to your FB account and use the hashtag Webinar Wednesdays. You may also share this link to your colleagues, friends, and families para mas marami pa po tayo na magkaroon ng bagong kaalaman. Just a few house rules po bago tayo mag-start ng webinar. Please do not forget to accomplish the attendance form through the link provided on the comment section. And for questions and inquiries, kindly use the comment section and this will be addressed by the resource speaker after her lecture. Now, at this time, we would like to ask some questions para mas makilala po namin kayo. In order for us to do this, we will be using a website called Slido. Let me share my screen first. Ayan. May we request our participants to create a new tab and go to slido.com and type the code which can be seen on the shared screen. Number 2314623. You may also use the QR code. Ayan. Okay. So waiting po tayo sa ating participants na magsagot. May nagsagot na po ng male. 50%, 50% female. Sige po, hintayin po natin ang kanilang answers. Tingnan natin kung anong mas marami sa ating participants. Okay, 53%, 47%, 48%. Halos pantay, mas marami lang kaunti ang female. Tingnan natin ang next question. What is the employment size of your company? May isa na pong nagsagot ng medium. So, tingnan po natin ang ating numbers. Ayan. 48% ang medium, 32% ang large. Ayan, may micro na tayo. 2%, 20%. Alright, karamihan sa atin ay medium enterprises. Next question is construction. Well, from what sector or industry are you? May nagsagot na ng construction. Ayan, manufacturing. Also yan, retail. Others. Wala pang fishing. Okay. Okay, karamihan sa atin ay others. Ang next ay manufacturing and then construction. Alright, marami pong salamat sa lahat ng nag-participate sa ating poll. We will now proceed to the discussion of our today's topic, safety and health in the workplace. Our speaker is a registered nurse holding the position of Labor and Employment Officer 3 at the Program Management and Technical Support Services Division of the Dole Bureau of Working Conditions. Everyone, please welcome Ms. Gladys Laino.
Thank you, Sir Aljo, for that wonderful introduction. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Sa ating pong Facebook Live participants, maraming salamat po sa inyong patuloy na pagsubaybay sa Dole BWC Webinar Wednesdays. Muli po, ako po si Gladys Benitez Laino, Labor and Employment Officer 3 from the Bureau of Working Conditions. Ang topic po natin ngayong hapon ay tungkol sa Occupational Safety and Health Standards, particularly ang Department Order 198, Series of 2018, o ang Implementing Rules and Regulations ng Republic Act 11058. To start po, quick background lang po tayo sa ating OSHA standards. Ang OSHA standards po ay unang nabuo noong 1978 pursuant sa authority ng Secretary of the Department of Labor and Employment under Article 168 of the Labor Code of the Philippines as renumbered, kung saan binibigyan ng kapangyarihan at otoridad ang DOLE na magpatupad ng OSHA standards upang maprotektahan ang kaligtasan at kalusugan ng mga empleyado at maiwasan ang mga aksidente at injuries sa kumpanya o establishments. Una po itong naamyendahan noong 1989. At hanggang sa ngayon po, ito pa rin po ang sinusunod nating standard. Ang Republic Act 11058 o ang OSHA naman po ay naging epektibo noong September 2, 2018. Habang ang DO 198-18 ay naging epektibo noong January 25, 2019. Ang Labor Advisory Number 4-19 naman po na inisyo noong March 13, 2019 upang mabigyan ng gabay at tulong ang mga establishments o kumpanya sa tamang pag-comply sa Department Order 198. Ang Republic Act 11058 po or Series of 2018 or an act strengthening compliance on occupational safety and health standards po, ang batas po na ito ay ang layunin po ng batas na ito ay paigtingin at palakasin ang compliance ng mga kumpanya o establishments sa OSHA standards. Ang mga sumusunod naman po ay ang mga salient features ng RA 11058 o mga importanteng impormasyon na naidagdag sa ating OSHA standards. Una po, the law expounded the definition of an employer, which includes contractors and subcontractors. Pinalawig po ng batas na ito ang definition ng employer at isinama ang contractor at ang subcontractors. Number 2, it expounded on the inclusion criteria of a workplace. Pinalawig din po ang inclusion of o criteria ng workplace kung saan hindi na lamang po ito nalilimitahan sa opisina o mga pagawaan lamang. Magandang halimbawa po dito ang mga bus. Yun na po ang extension ng workplace po para sa mga drivers at conductor. Isang halimbawa din po ay sa mga construction sites at sa mga canteen. Number 3, The law provides for micro and small businesses based on the number of workers. So dito po, hindi lang po applicable ang batas na ito sa mga malalaking kumpanya, kundi meron na rin po tayong nakasaad na guidelines para po sa mga micro and small businesses. Ang batas din po na ito ay rights-based katulad ng right to information, right to refuse work, right to report accidents, in-empower din po ng batas na ito ang mga safety officers na mag-issue ng work stoppage order, lalo na po kung may imminent danger na present sa ating workplace. At ang right to PPE. Sa RA 11058 po, nire-require ang mga kumpanya o establishments na magpasa ng kanilang safety and health program sa DOLE Regional Office or Field Office na nakakasakop po sa kanila. Dito rin po sa batas na ito, sinasabi na ang lahat ng workers po ay dapat merong mandatory 8-hour safety and health seminar as required by DOLE. And then, ginawa rin pong mandatory ang pag-provide ng mga employer ng workers' welfare facilities. So as we go along with our next slides po, i-discuss po natin isa-isa kung ano po yung mga dapat pong i-provide ng employer sa kanilang workers. And then, the total cost of implementing a duly approved safety and health program was made as an integral part of the operation cost. Ibig sabihin lamang po nito, dapat may sariling budget ang kumpanya sa pagpapatupad ng OSHA standards. Next po, inclusion of social partners in OSHA inspections. Ang mga social partners po natin ay mga representatives from employer and employees, labor group, or organizations. Sila po ay maaaring makapag-inspect provided na may kasama po silang DOLE labor inspector. And then the authority to enforce mandatory OSHA standards may be delegated by the Secretary of Labor and Employment to a competent government authority or the PSI delegated to LGUs. Dito po sa ating batas, maaaring i-delegate po ng DOLE ang enforcement ng OSHA standards sa mga LGU or local government unit. Halimbawa na lamang po yung compliance ng establishment sa pag-ooperate or pag-install ng mga mechanical equipment tulad ng boiler, pressure vessel, elevator at iba pa. And then, easy claims filed by the worker shall be processed independently of the finding of fault, gross negligence, or bad faith of the employer in a proceeding instituted for the purpose. Ibig sabihin po nito, pwede pong mag-file for compensation ang mga empleyado ng work-related accidents or injuries through SSS and ECC, regardless kung sino po ang may kasalanan sa nangyaring aksidente. And then of course po, ang imposition of stiffer penalties. We will discuss this po also as we go along. Next po, the Department Order 198 or the Implementing Rules and Regulations of Republic Act Number 11058. Dito po sa DO 198, mas tinukoy po ng detalyado kung paano makaka-comply ang mga kumpanya sa OSHA standards or kung ano-ano ang mga requirements base sa risk classification po at number of workers ng isang establishment. At dito po nakasaad ang mga penalties for violations. Ang coverage po ng DO 198 ay lahat ng private establishments, project sites at workplaces. Ang establishment risk category naman po ay may tatlong category. Ito po ang low risk, medium risk, at ang high risk. Ang risk category po, kung kayo ay nabibilang sa low, medium, or high risk, shall be determined by the establishment's company or by the establishments or by the company base sa ginawa pong HIRAC or Hazard Identification, Risk Assessment, and Control. Nakasaad din po dito sa ating DO 198 yung mga workplaces po na considered as high risk, tulad ng construction, healthcare facilities, transportation, at iba pa. Ngayon naman po, ano-ano po ang duties of our employers? The employer should provide a safe and healthy workplace. Para masiguro po natin na safe at healthy ang lahat ng manggagawa, kailangan po nating mag-provide ng capacity building activities at kasama po dito ang pagbibigay ng OSH training, seminar or orientation, at mga updates na may kinalaman po sa occupational safety and health. Ang pagbibigay po ng mga devices or mga equipment na approved ng industry standard tulad po ng mga construction, heavy equipment, at iba pa para masiguro ang kaligtasan sa oras ng paggawa. Ang pagbibigay naman po ng libreng PPE ay dapat na angkop sa trabaho ng empleyado. Halimbawa po ng mga PPE na ito ay ang safety shoes, hard hats, vests, masks, earplugs, at iba pa. Ang annual physical or medical examinations naman po ay binibigay po dapat sa mga empleyado natin free of charge para ma-monitor po natin ang kanilang kalusugan. Ayan po. Kung meron pong duties ang ating mga employers, meron din pong duties ang mga workers. Number 1 po is to participate in capacity building. Kung may mga libreng pa-training po ang ating kumpanya, dapat po tayong mag-participate kasi sayang naman po ang ating mga matututunan. Comply with instructions to prevent accident or imminent danger. Ang pagko-comply po ng mga instructions ay importante, lalo na po sa mga workers na humahawak ng mga machines or equipments. Obligasyon po natin as an employee na basahin at sundin ang protocol or instructions kung paano i-operate ng tama at ligtas ang equipment or mga machine. Importante din pong i-report natin agad sa ating immediate supervisor or sa ating safety officer and health personnel ang anumang panganib o hazard na nakikita natin or na-observe po natin sa ating workplaces. For our occupational safety and health programs, ang mga kumpanya po or establishment ay required na mag-submit ng kanilang OSH programs sa DOLE Regional Office or Field Office na nakakasakop sa kanila. At once na ito po ay tinanggap na ni DOLE Regional Office or ni Field Office, considered as approved na po ito. Ngunit ang OSH Committee po ay dapat pa rin ma-evaluate ang kanilang OSH program at least once a year or kung kinakailangan at kung may pagbabago po sa kanilang programa. At kung sakaling may nabago man po sa kanilang OSH program, kailangan po ulit mag-submit sa ating DOLE Regional Office or Field Office na nakakasakop pa rin po sa kanila. Kasama rin po sa ating OSH programs ang policies and guidelines on TB at the workplace, HIV, AIDS at the workplace, hepatitis B at the workplace, at ang drug-free workplace and mental health. Let us proceed naman po sa OSH personnel. All covered workplaces shall have their qualified OSH personnel. Ang mga OSH personnel po, ay ang mga first aiders, safety officers, nurses, physician, and our dentist. Sa atin pong safety officer, Ito po yung mga category at minimum requirement for Safety Officer 1, 2, 3, and 4. For our Safety Officer 1, he or she must complete the mandatory 8-hour OSH orientation and 2-hour trainer's training. For the SO2 naman po, completed the mandatory 40-hour OSH training course applicable to the industry. For SO3, course applicable to the industry, additional 48 hours of advanced specialized OSH training course, and at least two years experience in OSH. And then for SO4, 40-hour OSH training course, 80 hours of advanced specialized occupational safety training course, aggregate of 32 hours of OSH-related training or experience. So habang dito po sa safety officer natin, so habang tumataas po ang category po ng ating safety officer, mas tumataas din po yung training or requirement po na kinakailangan. Ang pag-appoint at pagse-certify ng safety officer po ay manggagaling sa establishment o kumpanya at ang ating i-designate na safety officer po ay dapat na regular employee ng ating kumpanya. Sa table po na ito, nakasaad po dito kung ano at ilang safety officer ang required po base sa risk category at number of workers ng isang kumpanya. So dito rin po kung mas mataas ang bilang ng mga manggagawa at mas mataas ang risk category ay mas mataas din po ang bilang ng safety officer na kinakailangan at mas mataas din po ang requirement. Para po sa mga establishments po na wala pa pong safety officer or ang safety officer po nila ay kailangan munang mag-undergo ng training, pwede po kayong mag-avail ng services with a certified OSH consultant po or our SO4 for 1 year hanggang makumpleto po ang prescribed training and experience ng inyo pong safety officer. Para naman po sa ating OH personnel or occupational health personnel requirement, ang OH personnel or ang OH personnel po natin ay may mga ang mga nurses, doctors or physician, dentist, at ang first aider. Dito po sa table na ito nakasaad din po kung ang required ay full-time or part-time po na OH personnel, base pa rin po sa risk category at bilang ng workers sa isang kumpanya o establishment. As I mentioned po a while ago, habang tumataas po ang bilang ng mga manggagawa at kung mas mataas po ang risk category ng isang establishment, ay mas mataas din po ang bilang ng OSH personnel na kinakailangan. Sinasabi din po sa batas na ito, ang mga OH personnel ay dapat present po sa shift kung saan meron pong pinakamaraming bilang ng workers. Pag part-time ang required po sa inyo ng OH personnel, naka-schedule either 4 hours per day po or 3 days per week. Or kung full-time naman po, ang required sa inyo, ang OH personnel ay dapat naka-schedule po ng 8 hours per day or 6 days per week. Para naman po sa OH dentist, dapat meron po kayong memorandum of agreement to cater the dental services at needs ng ating mga empleyado. Ito naman po ang requirement for OH facilities. Ito din po ay base din sa bilang ng workers and risk category ng isang kumpanya or establishments. Ang importante po dito ay meron po tayong designated area para po sa ating treatment room na pwede pong puntahan ng mga empleyado kung sakali na magkaroon ng aksidente or injury sa ating workplace. In addition po, the company may establish a hospital or dental clinic in the workplace. Ang pinaka-importante lamang po dito ay magkaroon po tayo ng memorandum of agreement with the nearest hospital na kung saan kung may mangyari mang aksidente ay may magkikater po sa kanilang hospital. At dapat meron din po tayong standby transportation para sa mga employees in cases of emergency at madala po agad sila sa pinakamalapit na ospital. Importante din pong dapat natin isang tandaan ay meron po tayong written contract of agreement with the hospital. Ayan po. Ito na po yung mga welfare facilities na dapat pong i-provide ng isang employer sa kanyang mga empleyado. Ang isang kumpanya po ay dapat pong mag-provide ng mga basic needs ng ating mga workers tulad po ng drinking water, sanitary and washing facilities, lactation station, accommodation or sleeping facilities, at mga ramps or railings, lalo na po sa mga PWD employees natin or workers at iba pa. For the safety and health training requirements, all OSH personnel shall undergo the prescribed mandatory trainings from DOLE or DOLE accredited training organizations or its recognized training institutions. All workers shall undergo the mandatory 8-hour worker OSH seminar as prescribed by DOLE. And workers performing critical occupations shall undergo the mandatory competency assessment and certification by TESDA. Ang DO 198-18 po is a joint and solidary liability. Ibig sabihin lamang po nito, shared ang responsibility at liability pagdating po sa compliance ng occupational safety and health standards. Ang principal employer, contractor and subcontractors ay included po sa penalties. For the penalties po, dito po sa table na to makikita po natin ang penalties for OSH po are as follows. However, penalties shall not exceed in 100,000. Pero if may willful failure po or refusal to comply with OSH standards, automatic po na 100,000 ang daily fine until makapag-comply po tayo. And that ends my presentation po. Kung meron po tayong karagdagang tanong or clarification, pwede po tayong mag-visit sa DOLE website or tumawag sa DOLE hotline 1349. On behalf po of DOLE Bureau of Working Conditions, maraming salamat po at magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Gladys, for the very thorough and informative discussion tungkol sa safety and health in the workplace. We are now going to start answering questions submitted during today's presentation. As a reminder, you can still submit your questions through the comment section. Ayan. Ayan lang po natin ang ating questions. Ma'am Gladys, our first question, can the assigned safety officer be any of the rank and file employee as long as they have certification of safety officer?
Yes po. Our safety officer can be of any rank and file po as long as the assigned safety officer is the company designated safety officer.
All right. Second question, who will certify the safety officer?
Pursuant po to Labor Advisory Number 04-19, safety officer shall be certified by the company's human resource unit or section based on the qualification requirements as provided for under Section 14 of DO 198-18. which include completion of the prescribed training on OSH and the required minimum years of experience in OSH as applicable.
Third question, with regards to mandatory 8 hours training, once lang ba ito ikakonduct sa workers or tuwing kailan ba ito i-conduct? Si safety officer, pwede po ba mag-conduct nito?
Okay, the mandatory 8-hour training should be taken only one time only. However, the company must provide the other OSH-related trainings to the workers as part of the company's OSH program implementation and shall be at no cost to the worker and considered as compensable working time. The DOLE DO 198 required quarterly reorientation for high-risk activities. And reorientation should also follow after changes in operations and production. Bigyang diin po natin dito na mahalaga po na mayroon pong reorientation, especially po kung mayroong pagbabago or revision sa inyong company OSH program. Paalala rin po na pwede po na ang inyong designated safety officer ang mag-conduct ng inyong company OSH orientation.
Fourth question, fifth question, is it okay for the assigned safety officer to have other work as well as other position po?
Yes po, provided that the safety officer is a regular employee of the company, as long as he has completed the required training and can perform other tasks. This shall also depend on the result of HIRAC performed on the workplace. High-risk establishments, as a general rule po, are not allowed their SO to do dual function.
Fifth question, how to classify a company if it is low, medium, or high risk?
Classification po ng company's risk category is through conduct of hazard identification, risk assessment, and control in the workplace.
Question number 6. Good afternoon po. For OH personnel and OH services po, is provision of HMO enough for medium risk establishment?
OH services ensures the preventive aspect of healthcare in the workplace, while the HMO naman po, the HMO services provides treatment for those injured or ill workers. Still, there is a need po for OH personnel.
Question number 7. Ang number employee count po ba yung nasa loob lang po ng office? Paano po yung mga employees namin naka-deploy sa mga clients namin?
Sa paggawa po ng safety and health program, dapat din po nating i-consider lahat ang mga empleyado kahit po naka-deploy po sila sa mga clients.
And question number 8. Paano mag-request ng inspection for non-compliant establishment?
For non-compliant establishments po, you can email the nearest DOLE regional or field office for that purpose po.
Question number 9. Who will certify safety officer?
Pursuant to Labor Advisory Number 04-19 po, safety officer shall be certified by the company's human resource or unit or section based on the qualification requirements as provided for under Section 14 of DO 198-18, which include completion of the prescribed training on occupational safety and health and the required minimum years of experience in OSH as applicable.
Question number 10. Can employers in NCR join the OSH training under the regional section or unit?
Yes po, the OSH training under Employers in NCR can join in OSH training under the regional section po or unit.
Question number 11. Saan po pwedeng makahingi ng module para sa 8 hours safety and health seminar?
Po sa ating module, maaari pong makita ang 8 hours safety and health seminar module sa ating pong BWC website.
Question number 12. Para po sa 8 hours safety and health seminar, allowed po ba ang safety officer ng company?
Ang OSH committee sa guidance ng safety officer po ay maaaring mag-conduct ng 8-hour mandatory orientation provided na sila po ay designated safety officer ng isang company.
And that's it for our questions. Thank you very much, Ma'am Gladys, for answering the questions of our participants. Alright. Ang mga hindi po nakapanood ng ating episode today, pwede po natin ulit itong panoorin sa BWC Facebook page. Further announcement po, the Bureau of Working Conditions will be conducting the webinar Wednesdays episode 9 on August 30, 2023. The topic for this episode shall be Construction Safety and Health Program. If you have any other questions, you may send us an email through askbwc@gmail.com or you may call the Dole hotline 1349. You may also please follow our Facebook page BWC 1949 para maging updated kayo sa iba't ibang issuances, announcements, and activities na inilalabas ng BWC at ng Dole. Again, on behalf of Dole BWC and our presenter, Ms. Gladys Laino, thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful and safe day, everyone.
Para sa katanungan at karagdagang impormasyon, maaari po tayong tumawag sa Dole Hotline 1349 o sumangguni sa mga Dole Regional o Field Office na nakakasakop sa inyong lugar paggawa. Para sa katanungan at karagdagang impormasyon,